Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to this beginner workshop on LLMs or AI chatbots. This presentation will focus mostly on the official Illinois tool, Microsoft Copilot. I will make a brief mention of other tools as well as we go along. My name is Przemek Bosak. I am the Assistant Director for Instructional Innovation here at the Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning, and I welcome you all. I'm so happy to see such a large crowd today. And if you haven't been, this workshop is part of a larger initiative between several campus units. We call this initiative the Summer of AI. And this is just one of the things that you can sample during the Summer of AI. At the end of my presentation, I will show you a link to the calendar of events. So so that if you become interested in attending more events, Summer of AI events, you'll have an opportunity to see what's being offered, and you'll have an opportunity to read the description of each event and decide whether or not you'd like to attend. Come back and attend more presentations. All right, so this is the tentative agenda. Tentative because this is a workshop and things happen during the course of the workshop. But I'd like to and since this workshop is designed for beginners. But if you're not a beginner user, please don't leave. I'm sure there will be things that hopefully there will be useful things that you will learn and be able to expand your user palette, so to speak, when it comes to generative AI. So this is the agenda. We'll try to demystify throughout the course of this presentation. We'll try to demystify generative AI mainly about, we'll talk about, or I'll try to present to you what it's capable of doing and what it's not so good for. We'll go over basics of prompt engineering. I'll describe what nested prompting is. And then we will do some workshopping and we'll create outputs. You will have plenty of time to workshop some of the techniques that I am introducing you to. This is the third time I'm conducting this workshop, and I overprogrammed the previous two, so I will try my hardest to give you ample time to actually practice and to interact with the tools on your own during the next 50 plus minutes or so. Okay, so without any further ado, oh, by the way, so if there are any questions throughout, please post them in the chat if you're on Zoom, and they will be relayed to me by my colleague Jamie. If there are questions or concerns, for those of you who are in the room, I will address them in real time. Okay, so before we migrate to the tool, and don't go there yet, there's a process for doing that. I want to make sure that so the text in green is something new that I didn't talk about last time I conducted this workshop. I'll show you a couple of new features within Microsoft Copilot, which are actually quite useful. So now I think we're ready for the next phase. So please, all of you, migrate to this web address, copilot.microsoft.com. And wait for me. I'll show you how to sign in just a second, okay? We'll do it all together. So the sign in icon is up here in the upper right-hand corner. If you click sign in, you have three options. To continue with Google, Apple, or Microsoft, please make sure you continue with Microsoft. Okay, you'll sign in with your net ID and password. And stop at this, but when you reach this page, please go ahead and stop. Don't move forward yet. Yes. Copilot.microsoft.com. The question was about the web address. Copilot.microsoft.com. If you're not affiliated, and I know there are some of you I saw on the registration list, there may be a couple of you who are not affiliated with the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, which means you may not have access to Microsoft Copilot through the U of I system. If you are affiliated, you should have no trouble logging in. Okay, so on this page, you have two options: the work interface and the personal tool. I would like you to go to the choose the work option, not personal, work. And here's the interface. Okay. So the two new tools, or the two new features I wanted to show you, were the voice mode, which you activate by pressing this microphone icon right here, and you start dictating. I won't demonstrate it because I recently switched microphones, and it's not, and I would have to shut down the tool and then restart it. So for the sake of time, I won't do it. But once you select the right hardware, once your hardware is synced up with Copilot, you will be able to interact with it by dictating, by speaking to it. Okay. And the second option I showed you, I promised you, was, and I forgot, custom agents. We'll do that one a little bit later. Okay. So we can go ahead and start interacting with it right away. And since we are in a university setting, we'll try to find some applications, for higher education. So for instance, and I'd like you to, you're welcome to copy what I'm doing just so that you get used to the tool and the interface. I'm going to say, help me write an opening paragraph to an article about harmful effects of pesticides. Then I hit enter, and Copilot is starting to generate that text for me. You can actually choose your own topic. You do not have to copy what I'm doing, but I think it would be useful if you did. I'll give you, as I said, I promised I'll give you time to workshop these things, to explore the tool on your own in just a little while, okay? So if you're getting stuck, if you're writing an article, and if you're stuck starting it, you can ask Copilot. You can ask Copilot to start to help you with the opening paragraph. Might be the middle paragraph. It could be the ending paragraph that you're struggling with. Anything, it'll help you. Oh, the one thing I wanted to show you is, and sorry, I'm going out of order a little bit, is if you look on the screen, I'm referring to this green icon right here. And it says, if I hover over it, it says enterprise data protection applies to this chat, which means if you click on this icon, it'll open a brand new document with a lot of legal jargon, and I encourage you to read over the document. It's not too lengthy, but it provides you with a lot of useful information, one of which is your input, meaning your prompt, and your output are protected. Microsoft is promising us as users, as University of Illinois users, that they will not use our data in the form of inputs, prompts, and outputs to train their models. And so that's one of the advantages of using Microsoft Copilot over any other tool. That is because our university has that agreement with Microsoft, by which our data is not used for training their models, their AI models. And the second option, or the second feature of it, or second advantage of using Copilot, is that it is available to all of us University of Illinois folks for free. Okay, we get free access to it. If you want to go with any other Gen AI tool, you'll have to buy a subscription, buy a license. This tool is available to us for free. Okay, so I created a paragraph, and there is a follow-up question. I'm going to ignore it for now. I'm thinking this paragraph is a little too large for me. Okay, I don't need it to be as big as it is. I'm going to say, limit the paragraph to 50 words. And lo and behold, I have a truncated version of my opening paragraph. Okay. Another interesting feature of LLMs, large language models, and as I learned last week at Summer of AI through a different presenter, this isn't the case for every language in the world, but LLMs, and Copilot is no exception, understands many different foreign languages as well, and you can communicate with it in different languages. But you can do things such as you can, for instance, ask it to translate a paragraph that it just generated for me to, let's say, oh, let's choose an obscure language. How about Bulgarian? I'm sorry if there are Bulgarians in the audience. I'm not meaning to pick on you. But here we go. And it even writes in Cyrillic, okay? So the Bulgarian language is, they have a different alphabet. They call it so-called Cyrillic alphabet, as you can tell, as you can see. It gave us that paragraph in that specific language with that specific spelling and with those specific characters. Okay. So here are three use cases. You're stuck writing a paragraph. Your paragraph is too wordy. You can also go in the opposite direction. You can ask it to expand. You feel like it's not long enough. And now you have a translation in a different language. Okay. Let's take it in a different direction. How about you're teaching a class? Let's say you're an architecture professor. How about we ask the tool to create an assignment? It's okay if we misspell, if you, as I am doing, I misspelled the word assignment. You do not have to go back and correct it. If it's close enough, the tool will understand what we mean. Create an assignment for a freshman level architecture class on, and someone who is quite famous and important to our state, Frank Lloyd Wright. Create an assignment for a freshman level architecture class on Frank Lloyd Wright. And here we go. Hi, welcome. So you can scroll down and see what it says. So the one thing that I will alert you to, and it is something that is advocated for by very, very experienced generative AI users. When you're just a beginner and when you're learning this tool, interact with it on a topic that you are an expert in, okay? I'm not an expert in architecture. Which means I can't go back and verify that everything in this assignment is legit, doable, manageable by a freshman, by an average college freshman. You actually must know your material in order to be able to use this specific assignment. Because, if you're not an expert, if you're lacking some knowledge, as I am in architecture, and if I distribute this to my freshman class and they go back at me and come back at me and say, well, we never talked about that, or Frank Lloyd Wright didn't make this or that, or didn't create that blueprint. So I'm going to look like a fool. Okay. So especially as a beginner, it's always a good idea to do it all the time, but especially when you're just beginning to interact and learn the specific LLM, it is always wise to talk about it with something you're an expert on, so you can catch its mistakes easily, if you see what I'm saying, because these tools are not foolproof. I mean, and they are prone to errors known in the technical lingo as hallucinations. Okay. So we have an assignment. We can also do things such as create a syllabus or we're going to be more ambitious this time, a 400 level college course in organic chemistry. And within seconds, well, it's still generating it, but we have a 15-week college course with a textbook, which you will have to go back and see that this actually is a real book. Okay. LLMs are notorious for misciting their sources. So and what's fascinating and what's funny, humorous many times is that, for example, the title of the book will be legit, but the author will be wrong, or the authors will be right, but the title of the book will be mismatched, or or a combination of both. Okay, it happens. I'm not picking on Jamie, but he once this was not, well, a couple of weeks ago, months maybe even now. He asked generative AI, and I don't remember which tool it was, to write a resume for him, and it credited him with a PhD, which he does not have. The book is real. Okay, so the book is real. But we've got the grading rubric, we've got the class policies, okay. All right. Now, this is actually quite useful, and I have used it myself. Now, down here, the follow-up question is, would you like the syllabus formatted as a downloadable PDF or editable Word document? And it is capable of generating either, okay? I've never asked for a Word document, but I've created PDFs with it, and they are legit, okay? All right. Now, I've got a syllabus for a 16 or a 15-week class. Let's assume I'm teaching a an abbreviated class, an 8-week class. I can revise this syllabus for an 8-week course. And once again, it takes very little time and gives me a syllabus for an 8-week class. Now, I'm presuming most of us are university people, and a lot of us who are in this space teach university classes. We strongly recommend inserting. This is an aside, but a really crucial one. We strongly recommend inserting generative AI policy in your class syllabus, whatever you're teaching. There are some sources, helpful university-wide sources that I'll show you on a couple of slides towards the end of my presentation, but it is really a wise idea to protect yourselves against academic dishonesty when it comes to generative AI. So consult with your departments, consult with your department heads, and avail yourselves of these university recommendations and suggestions when it comes to Gen AI. Students, whether we like it or not, students are going to use it and in their writing assignments. So it's really useful to have some type of a statement, generative AI policy statement in your class syllabus to avoid any misunderstandings, to avoid any potential conflicts with your students. Okay, so I have a syllabus. Once again, it can generate a PDF of it. But what I'm wondering about is, how do you know about organic chemistry? Great question. Trained on a vast range of educational materials, textbooks, academic papers, course syllabi that cover the subject in depth. So I'm going to be more persistent still, and I'm going to ask, can you name a few of these textbooks? I'm curious about where this knowledge comes from. And here we go. We've got some undergraduate level textbooks. along with some graduate level textbooks. As I said, you would have to go back and verify this data, but we've got some sources. Okay, so here are a few examples, use cases. It's 2:23. I'm giving you a full 7 minutes until 2:30 to play around with this tool. You can come up with your own. You can come up with your own prompts. You can come up with your own use cases. Just spend the next, okay, I promised 7, so I'll rejoin you at 2:31. The clock just flipped to 24. 7 minutes, interact with this tool. One of the things I talked about was nested prompting. And on one of the earliest slides that I showed you, what that means is, and I can show you what it is, tell me or give me a good, I don't know if this is a technical term. I'm using the term nested prompting when you ask a generative AI tool for a prompt. Help me, or you can say, help me create a prompt to uh, to make a syllabus for a college level. Let's switch from chemistry to astronomy class. So you're essentially asking the tool for a prompt. Now you can then copy this prompt, retype it in, and create that syllabus. Make sense? Okay, now it's 3:25, so now I'm going to really remain quiet for the next 7 minutes, and I'm going to let you explore the tool. Okay, it's 2:32. I'm going to put the brakes on your exploration. Hopefully there will be a few more minutes at the end of this class for you to explore the tool in more depth. Would anybody like to share their experiences from the past 10 minutes or so? Anyone? Doesn't have to be anything, doesn't have to be anything, world changing. Honestly, any comments are welcome. Yeah,
This tool is amazing.
this tool is amazing, is what we got here in the room.
Just having the tool to write a textbook for English teaching. For students in China, and it's doing very well.
Wow. So we have a comment from a first-time user who's saying the tool is amazing. He's creating a textbook for teaching English to native Chinese speakers. Yes, go ahead.
But I have a problem.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Does it use the math equations
Mhm.
that has
So, and this is for all of you who are on the web, a very, very useful comment. Somebody was creating notes for a math course, and they noticed that the mathematical notation, the very technical math notation, is not quite up to par, up to snuff. And that is actually a known weakness, if you will, of LLMs. They are still struggling with these characters just a little bit. So for those of you who are in the room physically, there were a couple of very interesting comments on chat, and I'd like to relay them to you. Somebody noticed that if you repeat the same prompt, the exact same prompt, multiple times, each result will be unique. You will not get the same answer. Okay, that's just so you're nodding your head. So that is also one of the features of LLMs. Okay, they're predictive tools. So and there's a certain amount of randomness introduced to how they behave. So this is a known phenomenon. This is not something that you should not expect. This is actually something that you should expect. And the second thing was what was it? Oh, yeah. If the slide deck will be made available, yes, by all means, I will share the slides with you tomorrow morning. The video recording, I'm video recording this presentation as well. It will be also available, but not until probably a little over a week from now, because we go back, we rewatch, we do some editing if there are some things that are not good for publication, and we embed some logos and branding icons and things of that sort. So that takes a few days, okay? But all Summer of AI events are recorded and made available to the general public, okay? So I'm going to, let's continue our exploration now. I'm going to show you a couple other use cases. I'm going to import a Word document that I created. I'm going to just drag and drop it in here. Okay, it's attached. And I'm going to ask the tool to summarize the attached. If you have one, you can drag and drop it, but for now, maybe just watch what I'm doing and how the tool is behaving, okay? Summarize the attached document. The title of the document is Generative AI Tools in the Innovation Studio. The Innovation Studio is actually just around the corner from us. It's my regular workspace, but at the moment it's undergoing renovation. So that's normally this class would have been held in the Innovation Studio. Okay, so as you can tell, the tool is actually very good at identifying the headings, the categories that were in the original document. I've done this exercise before, and the summary is actually really, really quite good. So you can attach documents and ask for summarizations. And now the follow-up question is, let me know if you'd like this turned into a handout, slide deck, or visual chart, which I'm not quite interested in seeing. But for those of you who are researchers, let me show you another use case. Let's say I am, and it's always good. So I promised you I'd talk to you about the basics, the good practices of prompt engineering. And prompt engineering is the way you design your prompts, but basically the commands for the tool. And it is always useful to provide some background information as well. So here's what I'm going to start this next prompt by saying that I am conducting research on cancer in hamsters. Provide some scholarly documents about this topic. Yes. Hmm? Okay, so that's an excellent question. Those of you who are on the web, the question was, if I upload a document, is that document also protected? And I promise, I'll be honest with you, I don't quite know, but I think it is. I didn't read all of that. And actually, we can actually open, if I click on this shield icon right here, data protection for prompts and responses. Footnotes, well, but I don't know if the attachments are protected or not. Your data is private. Protect against asecurity and copyright risks. There's actually more links for protected material detection and so on and so forth. I don't want to take a guess because I may be wrong, but I think that answer would be hidden somewhere in one of these links right here. That is such a good idea. We'll do that in just a second. For those of you here on the web, the question was, why don't we ask the tool? Okay, but before we go there, so I asked for some scholarly documents, and one of the features of Copilot is that it actually cites its sources, okay, and provides links to these articles. It came up with two. Maybe this is not such a popular topic after all, cancer and hamsters, okay, but it does actually provide you links to these documents that it got its information from. So let's do that together. Are attachments protected against being used for AI model training in the enterprise version of Copilot. Okay. Attachments and other user data are protected and not used for AI model training. All right. That was such an excellent question. Really, really an excellent question. Okay.
I just wanted to point out, that said, right now, it's not necessarily approved for doing research, personal
True.
information.
True.
And all this kind of stuff, but hopefully we'll get a model on campus that we will do.
I was thinking of uploading my lecture at PDF and ask it to give me activities.
The question, yes, that's, I'll repeat this query for our friends on the web. The idea is to upload class notes and to turn them into activities. And yes, the tool is capable of certainly creating, grabbing that input and creating activities out of it. I've done that myself. Yes.
How exactly would you upload?
How what?
Upload notes for a lecture.
So you can do what I did. I just dragged and dropped it into this box right here. I can show it again.
And there's plus 13.
There's a little, oh, right here, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So it's 42 after. I want to show you one last, I'm going to abbreviate this because I want to show you this new feature up here in the top right-hand corner. You see this little section called agents, okay? You can either get agents or you can create an agent. This is somewhat of a new feature. They added it within the last few months. So under get agents, oh, it's giving me a smiley, sorry, a sad face, not a smiley face. Well, let's create one then, okay? And you can describe your custom agent, you can configure it, but you can also import an already pre-made one. An agent is basically a custom tool that will help you with one specific task. So this one, it's pre-made already. It comes with the package. It's called a career coach. Then you have a customer insight assistant. You have an idea coach. There are other templates. There's a learning coach, a meeting coach, a prompt coach. This one would be, I looked at it briefly. It creates effective Gen AI prompts for you, okay? You have a quiz tutor. You have a writing coach, okay? And you can also create your own, let's say, agent. I don't know, I'm drawing, let's say, helping how about that? Agent making classroom activities based on uploaded notes or class notes, which is what you are going to do. You can actually create your own custom tool that's going to do that. I hit generate, and now we have a new agent, which we can rename. Not yet. Okay, so, and it comes with 6 pre-made generic prompts already. Create activity, suggest a group activity, create individual task, ensure that classroom activity is inclusive, learning and blah, blah, blah. This agent generates engaging and relevant classroom activities based on uploaded class notes tailored to different learning styles and needs. You gotta hit create up here. You gotta, to activate the tool, you have to click create. And in a moment, it's going to appear. And here we go. Let's rename this guy. Let's edit it. New agent. This is activity maker. Okay. And now, oh, where did it go? Activity maker, there it is. Okay, so it will be in this menu right here. Once you configure it, once you save it, once you create it, it's going to be right here. I don't know why the name didn't change, but it should have. Maybe it will eventually. And you have a custom activity maker, a custom generative AI tool that will be responsible for that one specific for that one specific task. You'll need to upload your notes into it with the plus sign or by dragging and dropping into the box, but it will create these activities for you. It will read your notes and it will generate these activities for you. Okay. Yes.
Typically, you use an agent or a custom GPT if it's repetitive tasks, like I'm
Yes.
entering a lot
Thank you.
different of my classes.
So typically, and as Jamie just pointed out, you would create and use a custom agent for a repetitive task. I'm sorry, what? Oh, you don't have this. Huh. I'm not sure why that is. You don't have it either. Oh, some people don't have that option, that feature. Huh. That's curious.
Right?
Right. You can expand this panel. Maybe that's why. Right here. Expand and contract using this icon. Does that activate it? Does that open it up for you? No? Wow. Okay, a couple more. We're beginning to run out of time. I wanna point out a couple extra what do you call them? Best practices, okay? So I'm seeing this be more and more especially in academic writing. This author inserted an artificial intelligence disclosure statement, and she copied to the parts of this document that she used Microsoft Copilot to craft, okay? I'm seeing this become more and more popular, and I think this is going to be the way going forward. Academic writers, disclosing which parts of a specific document were created with the aid of a generative AI tool. We've got now ways to cite generative AI in MLA style. You'll see these links on one of the last slides. I'll show them to you. If you want to ask your students to cite Gen AI, now there are official ways of doing so. And this is not okay. Let's go to the slide deck. We did summary, custom agent, image. Forget about that. Okay, we talked about bias inaccuracies, hallucinations. LLMs are power hungry. They consume a lot of energy. We talked about privacy, our data being protected, inputs, outputs, as well as attachments in Copilot. Privacy and security is always a concern. Never share any personally identifiable information with it. No names, no addresses, no copyrighted works, none of that, okay? I promised I'd talk about other tools briefly. There are many models out on the market. They're good for, as a matter of fact, and you'll see this in just a second on one of the last slides, you can actually, there was a speaker we had in June who talked about, he called his talk Gen AI Matchmaker. And you can go back and watch the video of his presentation. He talked about which one of these tools is most is good for what specific task. And it was a really comprehensive talk. However, the caveat is that you have to pay for each of these other tools, whereas Copilot, I'm stressing it again, is free to us University of Illinois folks. And I'm going to ask for a big favor, and let's do that now. We have some time left. Please maneuver to this web address or scan the QR code and fill out this survey. It will literally take you 2 minutes to do that, but it will be very, very helpful to me as a, sorry. Oh, I'll go back to that slide in just a moment. It will be very helpful to me to get this input, to get this feedback from you rather, and for all of us who put Summer of AI together. Not found?
There's not much.
Oh, can you go to this, type in this web address instead then? go.illinois.edu/Summer of AI survey. Wow, sorry, I should have, it worked the previous time I conducted this workshop. Hopefully it's not down.
It's down there. It's down there.
It's down. Well, forget that then. Okay, so in the meantime, here are some really, so calendar of events for Summer of AI is at this web address. Previous events, I told you about the recordings. We record every event. You can access these recordings at this web address in purple. genai.illinois.edu provides a lot of useful information about best Gen AI practices pertaining to us, U of I employees. It's right here. The videos are right at this address. Previous events, yes. Summer of AI recordings, yes. The CITL website also has a section on generative AI, including sample syllabi from 4 different departments and how they handle generative AI use in their specific classrooms. And what else? Am I missing anything? I'll have to fix that link, or that, I wonder why. I did check the survey this morning and it was fine. So I wonder what happened. So that's okay. I will be conducting 2 more workshops this week, one tomorrow, one on Thursday. Tomorrow, we'll talk about image generation and video generation with generative AI. And I'll go back slide by slide. Every one of the images in my presentation today was created with the tool I will present on tomorrow.
It's a good pass.
It's a what?
Good pass.
Uh-huh. And on Thursday, we will talk about a tool called Illinois Chat, which some of you are nodding, you know what that is. It was created with one specific goal in mind: to become your digital teaching assistant. Not to replace your human teaching assistants, because that's impossible, but to be able to provide services to students when your human TA is not available. Let's say at 4 a.m. in the morning, when the night before the assignment is due. Okay. Tomorrow is Adobe Firefly image generation. Thursday, Illinois Chat. Both of them at 2 p.m.
Here.
Here and on Zoom as well. Okay, so we have 5 minutes. I can either refund you that 5 minutes if there are questions, please, or if you'd like to stick around and continue to, to interact with the Copilot, by all means. Is there a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the status of OCR and Copilot. Optical character recognition. Like if you have, for example, handwritten papers. In essence, I know it can transcribe, of course, but how about, for example, using it for other purposes? Has it developed enough? Because I know ChatGPT, but I was wondering about Copilot.
I honestly haven't researched that. And Jamie is also, sorry, for those of you who are on the web, the question was about how good is Copilot at reading handwritten notes. I honestly don't know, but I would encourage you to try. Just upload a handwritten document and see how it behaves.
Google search claims it can do it. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it can do it. I'm just wondering, like, how good has it gotten? Because ChatGPT has gotten quite good at it. So I'm just wondering how Copilot is coping with it.
Google search claims it can do it. I was in Austria just a little over a month ago. Spoke with a friend who teaches at the University of Vienna there, and his specialty is music, classical music. He's a Beethoven scholar. And he told me that some of his peers, he doesn't use it himself, but some of his peers are using some AI tool, I don't know what it is, to scan and to read and to transcribe handwritten scores or handwritten notes by Beethoven. I don't think they're mistake free. Not I as far and I've read up about that a little bit, and none of these tools have 100% accuracy, but they do, they're fairly, and the accuracy rate is in the 90s.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried that. I visited one class and made a classroom observation.
Mm-hmm.
I note taking with my handwriting, and many many letters are not really clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I took a picture of my notes
Mm-hmm.
and uploaded ChatGPT. I'm not really satisfied with the job that ChatGPT did,
Okay.
but it's pretty okay. I think it's not perfect, but it saved my time.
Young, he is saying that he took some notes in a handwritten, he handwrote some notes in the class, then photographed his notes and uploaded it into ChatGPT. And he said the results were just okay. He wasn't completely satisfied with it, but it's better than nothing. And that was with ChatGPT, however, not Copilot. Yes.
Just an observation, I think that syllabus statement about AI use by students is probably really important.
Okay.
Seems like it would be a legal minefield if the instructor is using AI to create the syllabus, the activities, content, and then not making it clear what the student could do. So I'm not saying it's automatically a minefield, well, it is, but so yeah, be really, really, really clear, because that seems like partially a contradiction, right? Why I can do it and you cannot seems.
So the observation is, it seems like the statement, generative AI statement in the syllabus is crucial. So I'm showing you all our website, and I'll show you how to reach this specific page. From the main web page, click on generative AI, learn more, teaching implications, and down here, we've got course syllabus guidance with links to how the College of Business does its business, College of Law, Rhetoric, and College of Fine and Applied Arts. But yes, I agree. It is really, really just to protect yourselves against, as I said, conflicts, misunderstandings, things of that nature. You ought to include some type of a policy in your class syllabus. Yes. Mm-hmm.
The link or reference of AI, or you need to scientists massively perhaps in article wherever it is created by AI.
So mm-hmm.
That's the requirement. This is
So the question is, how specific must the students be when citing generative AI? And I would say it is probably up to you. I would speak with your peers in your department and how they're handling it. So I showed you an example of, this is an article that was created by somebody at a university in Canada. And this document is called AI Human Rights Impact Assessment for Educators. Quite a useful document in its own right. But this is how this person, a university professional, this is how they handled it.
And MLA and APA and the other things have guidelines for citing AI work. Still a good question, are we gonna do everything?
Yes.
And I think as we do more with this and maybe follow, like in education, or follow students' work, a lot of these tools, you can share the process. And so we might be looking more at process, a student's process interacting with AI than final result.
Yes.
Just looking at the text here, it says was used to suggest benefits, right?
It was used to suggest benefits, yes.
ChatGPT has, this is a fact, this is a fact. They're saying this was part of my process.
Process, yes.
Lighter, a little bit lighter.
Question?
It's again an observation. I mean, I teach technical writing, so I allowed my students to use ChatGPT while doing the technical report. And when it comes to citing, they have to cite like the logs. and I paid attention more to the prompts. So they would get a prompt, they would get like the result, and then they would have to change it to what they wanted to do. So they would get the ideas, but they would put the input, and then they would curate the prompt. So my what I wanted them to do was curate the prompts, not the end result. So they got graded on that rather than the end result.
It's learning by doing, really.
Yeah,
One-
which was actually very beneficial for them. And then they
One-
were really satisfied that they could use a tool in the prompt.
One instructor in the room is saying that he allows his students to use generative AI for technical writing, but he requires that they share the specific prompts with him as part of that final deliverable.
The whole thing. Copy with.
They actually do the charts, like they have so on LMS they would go and they say like chart log 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to see like the progression of the work, the prompts that they use. It's actually very exciting to see what did they do, how do they prompt it and make it shorter, make it longer, add more facts, fact checking. I mean, and for them it's a process. This is what I like then. Yeah, they submitted as a law. Yeah.
And this is something, so this will be the last thing, we're at time, is you can actually down here, you can copy the response, or you can actually or edit the output in Pages as well. There are a couple things. You can share the prompt and copy it with the response as well. You've got all these specific features that make prompt sharing quite simple. Question.
See that there's the icon, I like word.
Oh, I like something. I don't like something. Okay, this is for the makers, for Microsoft, to know how satisfied you are with the result or not.
But if you're pilot to know what you want, you respond and say, yeah, this was good, but or
Oh, another excellent. You have some fantastic questions, and you're stumping me a little bit too. I don't know if these grades, the thumb up or the thumb down, if it's used to train your specific agent, your specific co-pilot, or whether it goes out to Microsoft as feedback for how useful the tool is in general. I honestly don't know what these evaluators do.
And I do want to throw out a little extra to that question, and this is more with ChatGPT, but in ChatGPT, you can go in your settings and say, this is who I am, this is the kind of stuff I do. You can even, and it will learn over time.
That's one thing that the wiser people, when they use the ChatGPT, they use the word.
I don't want to keep you folks, those of you who are on the web. I'm going to close the meeting right now. Thank you for your participation. I will share the slides with you by email tomorrow. And please be on the lookout for other summary of AI events. And I thank you again and have a nice day.